my golden conquistadors. Welcome to the 24K Golden Quest podcast. It's me, 24K Hector, and I got my co-host here, Setness. And he ended up getting second place in the Top Choice Gaming 55-56 player tournament. We're gonna get a little bit into that. We're gonna get into the DLC that just happened in Australia, as we got our very own SoCal Dylan, aka Mozart, that took first place. And then we had in Europe, so all over the world, we have like a big tournament from all over. We ended up having that CCQ, that purple still took over. This meta is wide. This meta is nuts. And I hope you guys enjoy. Sit down and let's go ahead and quest together. Caesar, how was your week? And then, yeah, just take a little bit of just how it was like we're in WinterSpell now, right? Like we get to play. How does it feel? Not like we won't go details into your tournament run yet, but just how does it feel good to now be playing WinterSpell format? And what do you think about what happened this whole weekend with everything?
Yeah, so one, let's start by saying, just because you didn't mention it, we missed an episode last week, guys. My computer took a dump, and literally just I got home on literally I think the day we were gonna record. Yeah, I think the day we were gonna record. I turn it on and my screen is just black, and I'm like, oh, what the heck? So shout out to Chat GPT if any of you guys use it, because it literally used it. I used it to fix my computer, and now we're up and running again. So that's why we missed last week's episode. We're gonna try to be consistent, but we just had that little hiccup. So we do apologize for that, but we're up and running, so we should be good again. But as far as that, I mean, I don't know. The meta is feeling good. Obviously, there are some scary decks like Blurple and Dogs, just like we predicted in our meta list. We had them as the only two decks in S tier. Um, but I do agree with you. I think it is wide open. I do think those two are like for sure the S tier decks. I do think that, but I think you can definitely top, even possibly win an event like without it being a shocker with the tier, let's call it the 1.5 decks, and then I you can definitely top with tier 2 decks in my opinion. Like that's how open the meta is. So I mean, other than that, I'm not shocked with the weekend winners. Let's say, the most star winning the DLC with dogs, and then the CCQ being won by Purple Steel. I know we on our tier list we did put it a little bit lower, but that was prior to that list going around with the Ismas and the Angels. As soon as I started playing against it and stuff, like I sent a message to James and I was like, dude, I know you're stuck on Purple Steel. This is a Purple Steel list I would play because like this feels insane with like Christopher Robbins. I like the Pocahontas genies, which ended up the version that ended up winning the CCQ was that version. Um, but even like without the Pocahontas, I think it's good as long as it does have like the Angels and Yzma package. But we'll go into that a little bit.
Oh yeah, definitely. I wanted to see. I felt good after our first meta tier list. I felt like we only had one deck to fix, which was to put purple green higher up than we actually did. But man, a lot of things can happen, and this only show you guys that we gotta completely switch this around and relook at it and make sure that you guys are up to date and informed on the most current meta game. So let's get to it. I can't wait to dive into it.
Yeah. So let's dive into some of these um, charts and some of the data from the tournament over the weekend. So let's go ahead and start with um, DLC Melbourne. I believe it was only a total of, does it even have it here? Oh yeah, 418 Illumineers. We have 20.2% of day one being Blurple. That's pretty scary numbers. Kind of what happened in set nine, and kind of no, it didn't really happen in set 10. But definitely what happened in set nine, closer to that 30%, 99 players, and then from the big drop, almost 15% from the next deck, which is Dogs. But it is interesting seeing Dogs as the second most played deck at 13.7%. But it's not that much of a shocker because one Dogs did get stronger, and I do feel like it became an easier deck to play compared to the past two sets. With the willows, I think it just makes the lines a lot easier. And then we go down to 12.8% on purple steel, 8.8 on yellow steel, 8% with blurple, 6.3 with the yellow blue deck, 6.0 with the blue steel, and then 4.6 with purple green, and then 11.7 with the variety of other decks, right?
And then
Uh,
8.0 was blue green because you said purple, but yeah, it was blue
oh, did I
green on
say?
the 8.
My bad. Baja Blast. Baja. Um, how do you feel about these day one data? I'll go ahead and let you speak on it first, and then
Yeah.
I'll go
You
after.
want we were talking about just day one for now?
Yeah, let's talk about day one for
Okay.
now. Like, how are you? Do you was that kind of
All
like?
right.
Let's say you went to this DLC. Would that have been something you expected, or what?
Yeah, Melbourne, that was huge. That's like pretty much where I would say out of the three tournaments, I would gather the most data from when it comes to the most competitive top tier tournament. And then I know some people couldn't travel, so they say this was one of the easiest quote unquote DLCs, but it's still a DLCs, right? So you're still going to get people trying to go, especially if the people that did travel, they're trying to top, they're trying to win. So you're going to get a lot of the correct information of the right decks to take. It's good. I mean, dogs being the second most played deck over Blurple, that makes sense. Purple Steel because it's just such a fan favorite, no matter where it kind of stands in the format. That makes sense. Um, yeah, and then kind of the whole meta is the other percentages, and the other is the other. So that would just it makes perfect sense to me on day one for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too shocked either. Blurple. I mean, the two decks that we put at the S tier are the most represented, and then Purple Steel. I mean, I believe we said in our last podcast, and we constantly say it amongst each other. Like, we did think Purple Steel was a little bit weaker, but I still think like it wasn't not gonna perform because it's already a solidified deck, right? Like, Blurple was super solidified at the beginning. Purple Steel, a lot of people were building it the old way, and I think that's what was making it like a little bit lackluster. Now that it found like that new build, I think it's coming back at full force. And then Dogs, like, um, we are saying it was getting a little bit easier to play against. But I think we said in the podcast too, it's because they were slowing down by putting the Rockstar Stitch in on that. And as soon as they like flip back over to the other version, it's gonna become a problem again, right? And that's kind of what happened. But let's talk a little bit about the day two results. So, um, the most represented deck in day two, which was actually not Blurple, it was Dogs at 34.3%. Then we had Blurple at 31.3%. Sorry, 34.3% for Dogs, and then 31.3% for Blurple, 18.8% for Purple Steel, 2% for Baja Blast, and then 3% of random, which is one purple red, one purple, or sorry, three purple red, three purple green, and three amber steel, which is 1% for each of them. Um, Once again, I'm actually shocked about the dog conversion. Um, Seems like more people were putting more time into it, so I rewarded them because the deck is really strong. But the thing I am surprised is like how low the Blurple converted because the deck does feel really strong, and then how much the Purple Steel's converted because I don't feel like that list was really going around that much yet. And then I'm not surprised with the Baja because like we said in the podcast, like the deck's really strong. The only thing holding it back was Dogs. So if they dodge Dogs, they like had a good pretty good shot to top, right? And then the purple green, not surprised. We think the deck was strong. Purple red was we think it was strong, and then amber steel. Not sure if those were aggros or not, but I'm not surprised with it. Like we said, I think all these decks we put in tier point 1.5 or higher, or 2 point or tier two, and like I said, I'm not surprised to see tier two decks top. Like it's not a surprising thing right now.
Yeah. Definitely. So I day two. It's kind of crazy that I'm looking at these pie charts and literally you could just increase the size. You see how dogs goes from like this to like a good chunk of the pie, right? You see purple steel increase the pie. For the most part, Blurple did increase on the pie. Like technically the chunk got bigger, but that's because all these other decks were not gonna top, right? So a lot of the other were not gonna top. But it feels pretty. I am I shocked that dogs beat Blurple in representation? Not necessarily. When I feel like in the DLC, sometimes if dogs, I feel like dogs take over. So like I'm not afraid. I'm not shocked that the best conversion rate was dogs. Purple Steel was a little shocking to me, but I definitely thought it would get because we saw that some dog players were beating Purple Steel and Blurple was beating Purple Steel. So that was a little bit shocking there. But my biggest shock is kind of Purple Green. Honestly, Purple Green having what, like 16 players and then having one player only. I did expect more Purple Green in day one, and then I expected a little bit more representation of Purple Green in day two. But yeah, I mean, dogs take over, right? And it's actually going to be interesting to compare these three big tournaments because we want to make sure we get you guys the full data of everything. And you guys, as dogs take over on this DLC, but did they take over on the other tournaments? And then we kind of go based off that. We might be in the biggest, widest meta yet, which is pretty insane. It is not going to be uh, oh, you picked a different deck? Well, good luck because you're just gonna lose to Blurple. We are not in that. I am glad we are not in that too. I actually don't like when Blurple dominates the way it did before, like Fabled and stuff. But yeah,
Yeah, so let's go ahead and talk about the winning list for DLC Melbourne, which is a local a local person over here, Mostar. He's nearby from the area. We do see him around tournaments around here often. So he is really known out here, and then obviously he's known online because he's constantly anywhere from rank 1 to rank 10. Pretty high up there on Lurkanito, possibly now Duels Inc. If more people are switching over to that. But here's the list. I mean, it's a pretty generic list. Still playing the Bobbies, still playing the Daisies, still playing the ladies, playing the other unequal lady, the Webbies, the Go Go's. The biggest addition is the Willows, obviously, and then on the other biggest addition to the Willows is the Nanis. But we still have the Lilos, we still have the Mowglis, the Tramps, the Ursulas, the Shift Lady, the big tramp, Delia's Moon Lullaby, and then we have the two, like there are two ways to interact with the board, which is Under the Sea and Chromakon. So pretty generic list. This is the dogs we're scared of. What made us not scared of dogs that bad in the first 2 weeks of the, I guess let's call it the pre-meta, was them switching over to Rockstars because it was slowing them down a lot. So it was giving control players time to react, right? So if they're going back to this, they're a lot faster with the Willow, right? It's like almost guaranteed a turn 3 tramp.
yeah. So one thing that I wanted to point out about Dylan, and a huge congratulations to him, and on this deck that he took. But what's crazy is that what it didn't surprise me that he won. I wasn't surprised that he won. What really surprised me was that he was able to take down so many of his bad matchups, whether that was purple red. It was supposed to be struggling against purple red. It was supposed to be struggling against purple steel. And we consistently in feature matches or in you saw in his tournament run that he was able to beat those bad matchups. So this is kind of what it takes, right? To win DLC, being able to win your bad matchups. But not only that, as we kind of seen from Fungus, is that his name? Yeah, Fungus, and now Dylan. It's kind of showing that you don't only have to be good at the game; you have to put a lot of time and reps into it. They're both grinders. So that's one thing that I really stood out to me about winning a DLC. It starts questioning me like, can I ever win a DLC? Right? Like it almost like if you don't grind that hard, there's possibly maybe no way, right? Like it's really difficult. Like these guys, the winners are consistently guys that are just putting so many hours and hours into the game, and rightfully so. They should be rewarded because at the end of the day, a lot of people, great players, are going to be top cut. But the best of the best, or the grinders, the one that know every little interaction or how to beat your worst matchups, are going to be the ones taking the whole cake home. So, yeah, congrats to Dylan again. Solid list. Deck is scary. Deck is back.
Yeah.
Never left, actually. Yeah.
I'm just happy now. I if James ever hear I if I ever hear James say that online clients aren't real, I'm gonna be like, dude, we have two DLC back to back DLC winners that literally show that grinding these games online rewards you big, and it's exactly what you said. Obviously, just from watching the stream, obviously there's still some great players that went to this tournament, but just from watching the stream, like uh, let's say the overall skill level at this tournament for players was a little bit lower, but it also goes into what you just said, like um, he probably grinded, like let's say that person he played. I mean, I didn't watch much of it, but like let's say the person he went purple red. Let's say that person probably only played like 20 games versus dogs. Mostar probably played like 100 games versus Purple Red. Like, he knows every in and out. He knows what he has to do to beat it. And the other guy's kind of like assuming, Same thing with the Purple Steel matchup. Like, that's probably the matchup he probably tested the most against, right? He was probably asking people to test with him and stuff because that was probably like the quote unquote roughest matchup. And I believe he was playing dogs last set too. So I'm sure he did that last set too. So who knows how many games he had against Purple Steel to know the ins and outs. So like you said, he beat his bad matches, but he probably put in the time to know exactly um, what he needs to do when he goes against that matchup, and if he's in a sticky situation, what he can do to get out of it, right? So, and that all comes from reps, putting in the time and putting in the work, and asking testing partners to test to put you in this scenarios. Because when you test like that, you got to be willing to be like, all right, let me do this to put me in a bad matchup, and then let me try to get out of it. And then you're doing that against a well-known player or like a player that is like a high skill caliber, so like it'll be hard for you to get out of it. And if you can, then you learn something new, and then you could apply that to like a real game scenario. So yeah, congrats to Molstar. Great player, obviously. But let's move on to the CCQ. So this is it's not a pie chart, but basically data for the CCQ. Um, Let me see. So we do have most represented deck as well. Once again, Blurple at 51. This is a total of 237 Illuminaires. And this one, the second most represented was actually Purple Steel at 44. Third most represented was Amber Emerald at 21. Fourth, Sapphire Steel at 17, and then Amber Sapphire at 16, and then Baja Blast 16, Amber Steel 14, Amber Amethyst 13, Ruby Amethyst 13, and Emerald Amethyst 11, and then you guys can read the rest because that's kind of like the miscellaneous stuff, right? Um, Once again, me personally, not really surprised with this. Um, these are like the three decks that were kind of performing the best last set, so they're obviously going to be good this set. The one I am kind of surprised is Sapphire Steel, but I do know like a lot of Sapphire Steels were doing pretty decent on like the online clients, like right up before this weekend, right? So I'm not too surprised of it, but yeah. What about you? You're muted. You're muted. You're muted.
Yeah, so I'm actually not surprised about the Sapphire Steel like numbers. I was actually shocking. But when they started figuring out like wait, Angel Goliath like is pretty good. When they started figuring out like wait, Jasmine Shift line gives you a Pete and Angel, like that's pretty good. So that there's something there, right? There's value there. So I would love to see that Blue Steel still seeing some success. Uh, yeah, Purple Steel at 44 with 51 blurples. That is what, 7 player difference? That's crazy. That one's crazy to me. It's not that it was the second play most played deck, it's that it was a 7. It was like almost like right there with Blurple. I know the deck is good, but like dang, over dogs. Like it's doubled in dogs, dude. It's more than doubled in dogs. That's kind of crazy to me. Um, then again, like Blurple 51 players, like so if Purple Steel doesn't hit 44, like it's the ratio there is insane. So one thing I did catch there is that we can honestly and obviously say Purple's the most represented deck. So you no matter whether you are in a tournament, you have to beat Blurple or play Blurple because yes, you can win with the other decks, but you still have to beat Blurple, right? Like, or you just have to hope for a crazy dodge because you can't just go into a tournament and be like, my worst matchup is Blurple, but I beat everything else. You can still go X3 that day, and that's that. So yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
100%. So let's go ahead and review the winning deck list for the CCQ, which was purple steel. Whoops, messing this up. There you go. Purple steel. So
Again, not
this,
purple.
yeah, again not blurple. So this is Fia's Miss Lorcana. I think from what I heard, she's the second qualified woman in the EU Continental. So that's pretty cool. You know, shout out to the women um, qualifying for Continentals this year. I know what's her name, Monica was one. We have one.
Monica.
I don't know how many we have over here in NA, but I know Monica's one for here in NA. So that's always cool. You know, to see diversity in the top tables and stuff. But yeah, let's look at the list. This is a list I really like. This was like one I saw floating around, and as soon as I saw it floating around and caught my eye, I played against it once or twice, and I think I did beat it with the decks I was testing. But I did tell I messaged James right away, and I think Drake kind of said it too. And I was like, dude, this is a purple steel I'm afraid of, and if you want to keep playing purple steel, like I recommend you to play a list somewhat like this, which is four hooks, four all offs, two palace guards, four Christopher Robins, uh, four docs, three Pocahontas. I like the Pocahontas a lot. I know some people don't. Um, two benches, four Cheshire cats, four genies, four cobras, three angels, four genies, the evasive one, four Ismas, the 3/3 quest for two that draws three cards if you exert her, the five drop also four of them, two Hades, four Demonas, and four strength. So um, I don't know. I think the Pocahontas, especially with that three drop genie, gets real scary real quick. It's like you're boosting one, you're getting that effect to get one lore, and every time you do it, it's like you're doubling that effect if you have Pocahontas, right? Because she's gonna get that lore as well from the genie. So it's like you're boosting one, but you're almost like getting one more for free if you have that Pocahontas out. And it's not like almost a lot of things that like run into her to take her out early is also gonna trade back. So I don't know. I think the card's good. I think it's been performing really good. I don't play the deck. I don't play purple decks, but anytime I face it, I am kind of like, dang, this Pocahontas is a problem. But what do you think about this list?
Um, yeah, Pocahontas is a good card. That three drop genie is a good purple card, man. Like think the big reason why blue yellow, blue green, and like some of blue steel are not having the sapphires not taking over is because purple's keeping it on check. Excuse me. It's just so powerful. Purple this set, it just like literally is able. I think it's as most powerful as it is also keeping sapphire on check. But then there's Blurple, right? Which is the reason why Blurple is the most represented deck. It's like, wait, we play the two best colors. That's literally it. Um, but yeah, it's Angel's cool. That Genie 3 drop is insane. It goes fast. Dude. Pocahontas goes fast. Now Purple Steel is solving a problem that it once had, or that it has sometimes, is that they don't get questing fast enough. So these mid-range to control decks take over. And now they're facing a giant shield willpower character, and now they can't fight back, right? But now this deck has hooks. This deck has strengths. This deck has what is it called? The Cheshire Cats. It has the giant cobras. It can swing at you. Oh wait, you're playing big control. I'll just go aggro with Christopher Robin. I'll go Pocahontas. I'll go 3 drop genie. Like hey, purple steel, man. It's there. It's there. I love to see it.
Yeah, I mean, I did like the Christopher Robin. I like the Christopher Robin no matter what. I did like the Pocahontas genie package. Prior to dogs winning, I mean, we're not too sure where the meta's gonna head now with dogs winning. I don't know if I would be playing them as much. With them winning because that obviously doesn't help that matchup. But I mean, I don't play this deck. I haven't played it. I don't think I ever really played it. So I mean, if I would say this, like my advice to the purple steel players, like if you feel like you can still beat dogs consistently with these two cards in your deck, then I would play it. If you feel like you're dropping some games to dogs, those will probably be the first cards I would remove, the Pocahontas and the Genie. But just keep in mind that it's gonna make your more controllier matchups worse, right? Because I don't think the Robin itself, it will get you some games there, like some of the it will get you to the Christopher Robin might just get you some games just by itself, but the Pocahontas and Genie are gonna like increase that by a lot. So um Yeah, I mean, it's just gotta depends like where the meta's heading. If it's gonna stay more controlly, um, slot them back in. If it's gonna stay more low to the ground, then I would probably be playing like some other cards. But I think the cards are good. I would keep them like in rotation on you extra like at all times in case you gotta swap over and put a little bit of speed in your deck. So um, you got anything else for this list?
No, I feel like definitely. I think you start picking like, is it Calhoun or is it Pocahontas, and then you go like that. Is it gonna be the more faster route, or is it gonna be Calhoun, right, for more dogs or whatever it is? I like that Benja's now included in the deck. I think Benja's nice. Again, some blue yellows that can come up on the cauldron, so that's not bad. I do like how they're not playing Pete's, or she's not playing Pete's. I like that. I'm not the biggest fan of Pete right now, but yeah, Pocahontas is a 2 drop, right?
Yeah, two drop, three
So
two,
like,
unlinkable that quest for one. Most of the time, let's be honest, is most of the time gonna quest for two at minimum.
so, so even if you go against Control, if you go Christopher Robin 1, even if you're on the draw, like
Yeah,
Christopher Robin 1, Pocahontas 2, Genie 3. Like even if like well blue yellow's like going like ink play develop, ink play tipo or sell, and it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh man.
yeah, it gets
And
quick.
then what's cool is that it can what is cool is that it's able to bring out these bodies, but it still plays the Mona and Doc.
Yeah,
So that's what's annoying about Purple Steel, right? Like you don't be like, okay, I clear the threats. That's not how that works. Like while you're clearing them, they're gonna Demona draw 3, and it feels like a never ending loop. It's crazy.
yeah, it has some insane
Wow.
like refill. It's crazy. Like
Yeah,
sometimes they'll be out of a card. Like the thing is, this deck plays with like a one, two, three card hand, but it's like every one of their cards, like every like even if they don't top deck it, like you better hope to end the game and like next to draws because by that third draw, that third top deck, they're probably gonna draw one of those cards that are gonna refill their hand again, like a Doc,
such a strong
Yzma,
deck, dude.
Hades, a Demona, So it gets crazy. And the Pocahontas, just keep in mind that it's not only your character, it could be an opposing character too that you could get the lore of. As long as it's exerted, it can target an opposing character. It just says
I like
gain lore equal to another chosen exerted character's lore. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
learned
this
that the hard way. When I kept questing my 2 questers, and then they were like questing and getting lower, and it took me. I was on online on the Fight Club, and I was like, "What's happening? Why are they?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, they're hitting my stuff! Like, what am I doing?" And then what I've noticed was this type of decks too, with like 10 1 drops, right, and then more 2 drops, is that these guys are like now outing big stuff. Like I had in a tournament, like they were outing my yellow surfer stitch by playing 8 and then just going strength, dude. Like they get wide. So I can see why I can have a good dogs matchup. Because if dogs goes like Chromicon, I'll be like, sure, I have just as many characters, so we can do this whole math. Or like, now how they have Benja now Chromicon, like it's over for the dogs player. So yeah, this is good. I think I can genuinely say it feels like Purple Steel isn't so fair anymore. Remember the issue we had with Purple Steel's, like if it doesn't do anything unfair? It's starting to feel pretty unfair at times. Like now it feels like the unfairness is that it never runs out. Like 4 dogs, 4 Yzma, the 4 Demona into Hades.
yeah,
Like
and some
that's like 15
and
cards that just refill your hand, dude.
yeah, and some are
By
playing
three,
dumb.
by 2 3.
Yeah, and some are playing doubles too, right? Like instead of the Hades is more like right away card draw slash removal, and then the Dumbo is like another threat. Like you better out my. It's like another person. It's like the Yzma. It's like double Yzma, right? Like you drop an Yzma, you better drop my Yzma, or else I'm gonna refill. Drop a Dumbo,
Crazy.
you
So
better
many
take
threats.
out this Dumbo, or else I'm gonna refill, right? So yeah, this deck is scary. I think this I don't know who gets the shout out, but whoever started building with the Yzmas in and the Angels, they cooked because I think it put the deck up 100% to another level. So
If you're facing a 3 drop genie, a cat, and an Yzma on the opposing board, like what are you hitting? You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
it's
so
like,
many
all
threats.
right.
Yeah. So and then another tournament. More happened over the weekend, but this one was close to us, and it was a pretty decent sized tournament. It was a 55 player tournament, like Hector said. At Top Choice Gaming, our sponsor, shout out to them. Hosted a great tournament. It was a good turnout, and I think everyone there had some fun. But shout out to everyone that made top eight. I was fortunate enough to be one of them. I lost in the finals, unfortunately. And yeah, we had three blurples in top eight, one purple steel, one yellow purple, one blue green, And then the finals was me on yellow blue against some guy. Uh, his name's Michael, playing purple green, not the purple green that you guys were seeing around going around. It's it's like a new take on Brainiac. Kind of like the same way Brainiac plays, but this is going more towards like bouncing your characters, Maleficent staff, getting some lore. We'll talk about it. It's a crazy list. So shout out to everyone that made it. Shout out to some names real quick. Isaias Barrera, that's Izzy. Aaron Weimer, Angelo Antolin, Ruben Santana, and Nathan from On the Play, and then Joe Koch, or I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but um, yeah. So shout out to everybody that made it. But let's go into the first place list. And
And
here,
before we go into the first place list, real quick, I did want to say, like I said, shout out to everyone that came out. It was awesome. Even though I didn't do so hot, it was crazy. All the blue yellow players were like alive in the tournament by the last round still, which is kind of crazy. And then I was like the one blue yellow that faced like all the dog players, so it was kind of sad. But it was still very fun to see everyone that came out. Whether you come from San Diego, from the LA area, from even deeper than that, Lancaster, right? So shout out Lord Kings, shout out all the teams that came out. I forgot I wanted to shout them out. House of Lorcana or House of something. They all came out. It was like 4 or 5 of them. It was pretty cool with the jerseys on. Um, Great time, man. Congrats to you. I know you got second place, so that's awesome. It's good to see that we are at least putting blue yellow on the map, right, in some capacity. So that's nice. And then let's look at this crazy purple green first place deck again. Not purple.
yeah. So honestly, I asked them after, and I said, "You just lose to aggro decks, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, pretty much." Um, I'm sure he has some line into aggro decks, but I did play this deck um after it beat me. I was testing it online, and I played against a blue yellow, and I'm like, yeah, dude, there is no way I was beating him. Like playing from the other side, like that person, like I was playing against online, had no chance. Like this deck is meant to destroy blue decks. Like it feels almost unfair.
No
Like
Webby.
I don't think you need it, to be honest. And the hey hey was actually doing more than enough. Like
Oh,
it's
I
just
didn't see that. Hey, hey. So yeah, it plays ramp. Okay,
yeah,
got
it
it.
plays a little bit of ramp, but even like you don't really need the ramp because you can put the Tink on three, and it just puts so much pressure because you have that 7 card hand, and she's questing for four, um, very early at turn three, right? And then once you get to the end, you just start bouncing all the stuff with Maleficent staff, and then you just start slowly getting the lore. But shout out to once again,
You got a horseman strike it, no?
yeah, you
The
gotta kind
tink,
of
yeah, for
horseman
like
strike
like
it, yeah.
OPCA, you better hit it right away.
Yeah,
Right away.
I did the mistake of not, and I did let him get 8 lore, and I think I still could have won that game, but I forgot of the I don't know, I just didn't think about it, but I was playing around the Jasmine, but I did not play around him doing it all in one turn. Like I'm like, all right, if I see a Jasmine, baby Jasmine on field, I'm not gonna turn sideways. I didn't think about him straight up going baby Jasmine, shift Jasmine, bounce everything back. I'm like, oh crap, I did not think about you doing that. Obviously, it's
And that's
something.
peace, right? And it's okay. Like that is what these decks are meant to do. Like, wait, no one's prepped for these. Like, no one's mind is refreshed on these. I know you know what the card does, right? But to some extent, people have to have mental reps into stuff. I know what this Tinkerbell does. I know what these Jasmines do. But like, it's just about not knowing the line, the curve, and exactly when to hit what. Sometimes that these decks take advantage of that, which is fair for us too. We can't even be like, oh, we're horrible. We didn't know that part. Like,
Yeah.
like it happens, dude.
No, I knew he can do that. I just forgot the fact that you can do it the same turn, right? Like I
Yeah,
just
because you don't see it
yeah
4 times a tournament. You know what I mean?
yeah
Like it's just like little stuff. Like
no
yeah,
yeah
no,
after he did it game two, like I was playing around it, but it's like
yeah,
it kind of puts you on a lock. Like I know game two, like I got pretty high up in lore. Even game one, I almost got there, but he caught up quick because he shift did that shift Jasmine line, and then like he got gained a bunch of lore. But even
okay.
game two, I was playing like I got a lot of lore, and then once he hit that threshold, I think it's 8 ink. Yeah, three for the baby one, and then shift five for the big one. Like I just had to stop questing because I'm like he's gonna get so much value. Like I need to like kind of put enough characters on board that I could just one shot him because I was already like at 12 lore. So I only needed to keep like 4 or 5 characters on board, but he was constantly just bouncing one, and I couldn't turn them all until I had enough to just complete lethal because he was just gonna get so much lore if I even like turn 4 characters right. Like what I was thinking about later was maybe I could have kept turning one character each turn. Maybe I could have done that, But like I said, it was not a deck I was prepped for at all. I was trying to figure it out on the fly and how to beat it,
Yeah,
and it is a pretty rough matchup. Like it's pretty rough, but interesting deck.
yeah, even the tracks card, right? The one that can bounce stuff. It's so much bounce, and then like, was this his kitchen doing? Like, was this his cooking, or do you know if he got inspired a little bit by?
I think it was just him from what I'm aware of. This is all he plays. Izzy was telling me that this is all he plays. He just plays green purple. Um, like he doesn't touch any other colors. So I'm pretty
Easy,
sure it's
easy. They
him.
talked to me before. It's like, have you seen his list, dude? Like that one destroys Blurple. It's like it's meant to like Blurple. It feels like Blurple. And Izzy's playing Blurple, and this is his friend. He plays this, so I'm sure they've tested together. He's like, it has like no win percentage, dude. Like it is rough. And then so it makes sense why the slower your deck is, the better this deck gets against it. Like it feels like almost the best of the control decks, which is kind of crazy to say, right? Um, but I will say like if this was his own doing, because he plays it so much, I respect like decks like this that you put in so much work that it doesn't matter what the ratios say on people. I know how my deck functions, and this is why I have my ratios. Frank Carlson, for example, you look at that purple steel list, and it was the weirdest thing. Like, what is doing? He's indecisive about everything. Look at this, dude. It's like two, three of like everything. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, but I'm sure like through so much testing, why only two Ursula? Why only two Demona? What led to those two ratios, right? What led to the four, whatever that, what is that, Maleficent Staff?
Yeah, stuff
Yeah,
like that.
Maleficent Staff with the three Jasmine. What was the right number of the three Hey Hey? Like, how many one drops and why two of that? What, so good. This
Yeah,
is what you can tell when someone does their homework and does enough reps that they know what they are doing.
yeah.
Congrats to him.
I'm just interested in wondering why he didn't play like a. Was he just expecting that much blue at this tournament? Because I feel like, don't get me wrong, the deck feels good when you're hitting what you're targeting, but and this is probably me being inexperienced with the deck, but when you don't hit what you're targeting, like the deck feels really rough. Like I played against a purple steel online and I was able to get one game on them, um, but like I lost the other two pretty bad. Um, and I don't even think that one's that rough. But I'm thinking about other matchups, right? Like I feel like playing probably like original Brainiac or even this one, but like probably including still some of the like the Prince Philip line, um, like because there's just points like that purple steel got too wide and everything else wasn't gonna kill it. Like I couldn't under the see them. I couldn't like stop kiss and the track wasn't even
I mean,
that
he could
good.
bounce everything with the Jasmine, right? Or
Yeah, but they're playing around it, and I think they could play around it better than a slow control deck can, right? Because um
true.
they just
Those
have
are
the
a
smaller
huge
characters.
surprise factor, right? The more popular this deck, the more people play around it. Like I'm sure game ones, no one was playing around it. You know, like it's very
Yeah.
hard, like at the moment, to like he stole so many game ones. I bet
Oh
there's
no,
also a
like
world too where he has the shift lines for the singing under the sea or the hey hey ramp to get him there. So I feel like there's a world that's at least solid, decent.
well, that's
It's
what I'm
just
saying.
like any control
That's what I'm
matchup,
saying.
right? Like
Like
let's just hope you don't against aggro, and then like it is what it is. Like if you
yeah,
do, you better they better not drop perfect, and you better drop perfect against it.
yeah.
Like
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like think about the current purple steel. Like almost nothing's under two. Like the Pocahontas is not under two. The genie, the three drop
oh,
genie is not
under the
under
sea's
two.
horrible against purple
Yeah.
steel.
So no, but shout out to him, dude. This deck is crazy and it works. You know, if you hit what you target, like this deck feels like almost oppressive, like really oppressive actually. So shout out to him. But once again, we saying the meta's wide open. Like uh, it's pretty crazy. Um, so yeah, that's all we got for our tournament results. Um, let's go
Also,
into
guys, keep an eye on the lookout. We are gonna plan to do me and Caesar a video in of itself on Blue Yellow because I feel like his run and then what we've been working on together as a team. Also, Dre, it deserves kind of its own video because we definitely want to give some control players kind of what we've been cooking and kind of put let you guys know what we're thinking. So it definitely needs its own video of its own, in of itself. So keep an eye out for that. But let's go ahead and let's fix our stuff, bro. Let's not fix because I don't think we're pretty solid on stuff. We just gotta update it, right? So
yeah, 100%. And on top of what you just said, um, I did get my computer fixed. I'm trying to get everything up and running, but I am interested and looking forward to, especially with that new Dual Zinc website that came out, to possibly streaming. If you guys are interested, we could probably put my Twitch in the description if you guys are interested, and I'll probably start doing that. Maybe like I'm gonna shoot for at least at the beginning, like at least twice a week, probably for 4 hours. The stream at a time. And if there's more interest, I might be willing to do more. I'm always playing online. I just when you stream it, it's a little bit more dedicated time because I have to sit on my at my PC and then sit in front of a camera and stream, show it all. And even if you guys aren't interested in that, like if you guys want to see some blue yellow gameplay, um, this is what I like about Duels Inc. Hopefully, it doesn't get shut down, but we can now put gameplay up right now, right? And then talk about our plays. That's the good thing. It's like I could show 3 games or put the best 3 games that have like the most informational. Like, let's say someone is commenting, "Hey, I'm struggling with purple steel. Can you guys show a couple of games against purple steel with blue yellow?" Run a bunch of games, record only the ones against purple steel, and then talk about those. If that's something you guys are interested, I'm willing to upload those on Hector's channel. And if not, I'm willing to stream on Twitch if you guys want to watch that. But let us know if you're
Yeah.
interested on that. And we're trying to put more Lorcana content out. I think that's something that has been missing from the game. And this website, as long as it's up, is going to allow us to do that, right? So appreciate that, and it's good informational for everyone. But
Listen, I cannot turn you down on putting stuff in this channel. It is 24K and you have a golden Mickey. It only makes sense, bro. But I mind if I take over on this kind of tier list because I don't want us to go drag and go too much on it. We're
yeah, go for
gonna
it.
definitely want to speed up on some of this stuff. So some of it is just kind of gonna go right. Like I am not about to tell you that we are gonna bump Green Steel up, and we are not a bump Ruby Steel up. So we are not touching those guys.
I just want to clarify.
We are
This
not
is
going to touch the diamond tier, as in bumping decks down, because
yeah.
we got that on lock as
I,
well.
I just
But
want to clarify. This is a tier one, and this is tier 1.5, right?
yeah, yeah. So it doesn't have it.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the diamond, and then it was kind of what was diamond, 24K,
Okay.
silver,
Yeah.
bronze, and Timu.
But in
So
in
it kind of
in
just goes
in
up in that
yeah,
order,
in
guys.
in reality, this is 1.5,
Yeah,
and 2 for people can understand a little bit better. So yeah.
yeah. So it goes up and down, which obviously by looking at the top two decks and bottom two decks, you guys probably got an idea. But my question to you, let's talk about it a little bit. Purple Steel, does it go up in diamond tier? Does it go up 2 tiers for you? Talk to me.
I wouldn't put it in diamond. Me personally, I would want to put it like at the top of A. Um, I still
Okay.
think I still don't think it's diamond in my opinion. But the deck is really
I think it is.
strong. Yeah. You think it's
Yeah,
diamond?
I think it is.
Yeah.
So I will say it's the worst of the diamond, but I am kind of going all this off the this whole episode, right? What we talked about. The conversion rate that it got on the DLC, great. TCG was just scared to play Purple Steel. Let's be honest. That's kind of what happened in TCG. And the CCQ, it won. It's just I cannot someone cannot tell me I'm taking Purple Steel and me tell them like no play dogs, no play purple. I feel like the option to take that deck is just as piece. If you tell me purple yellow, I could be like, oh, why don't you play purple? If you're telling me, like blue yellow, it's like, oh, have you tried this? I can actually say that about the A tier, the second tier, right? The one right below it. I cannot say that about purple steel. Someone tells me I'm gonna play purple steel, like I feel like I'll be like, great choice. It's right there with the big dogs. So I do believe it's the worst of the diamond tier, but I think from what we saw, it goes up there, bro.
That's fair. I'm not mad at it. I do think, like I said, that new build, I do think that build jumped it up a bunch. So I wouldn't be mad at it being in the diamond tier.
It can be both, right? It can be both of the diamond
Yeah,
decks,
it can. Yeah,
depending how it draws, but it can actually be both. Pretty cool.
yeah, no, 100%. And I
Okay.
do want to preface something with Blurple. It has not won an event. But it's not to say the deck is bad. I think the deck is still really strong, but it does have the biggest target on its back. And maybe you guys will start to see dogs not convert as well anymore because it just won a DLC. So now that might have the biggest target on its back, right? So
Right.
usually when you're the deck that has the biggest target on the back, and especially in a meta that's so wide open, like you can get hit pretty hard to make you not look bad, but at least not look as impressive as you are, right? So like let's say everyone starts
Like we say,
ignoring Blurple, it's gonna feel really crazy, right? And it's probably gonna win some events, but yeah.
right? Like when we say what we build, we're like, can you be Blurple? Right? That's already one of the questions asked. So we don't go like, can you be dogs? I mean, that's the second question that gets asked. But you get what I mean? Because it's can we be Blurple? That already, how you said, it has a big target on its back. But even then, like when it's the most represented deck in all three tournaments,
Yeah,
right? Like, what
best
are we
best
like
best.
not gonna put it in diamond tier? It's the most deck played.
Yeah,
Why? People like winning.
yeah,
So
best believe
that's something I learned from Dre. I was always like, just because I always like when I first got into carding, like just because it's the most represented does not mean it's the best deck. But there's some merit to that, but there's also that like it's either the most powerful or the most consistent, or it's got to be the most something because people don't like losing.
yeah,
So you know what I mean? What is it? It has
yeah,
to be something. So yeah.
100%.
But
And
go
with
ahead.
Blurple being the target on his back, you best believe that everyone you're playing against probably knows exactly what they got to do against you. So you better have more reps than that person, right? And that's the problem as Blurple. Like if you're the Blurple player, um, you got to be testing a bunch of
Got to be good.
again. You got to be playing against a bunch of stuff. And if you're playing someone, best believe that person probably has like that's probably their whole that's probably what their whole testing session was can I beat Blurple? Let me run 50 games into Blurple and let me make sure I beat this deck, right? Versus you're like let me make sure I beat every other deck because they're all targeting me, right? So
Yeah. So I just posted a Blurple. Hey, it's my plug-in time on my own channel, I guess. And I just posted the Blurple deck profile, dude, and I posted it on Facebook. I don't want to point anybody out. I did get one comment on it, and it said "Coward's deck," and I thought that was actually interesting. I everyone is entitled to their own opinion. You know what I mean? Like I've played a lot of decks. I personally don't like when 80% of the room is on one deck. You know what I mean? I've maybe thought about that with blue green last set, and it is what it is. Or with certain decks at one point, right? Um, but there's some merit, and I'm not saying this because I'm playing Burple, because I'm not even playing Burple at the moment. I'm testing it, but I'm not like I'm number one Burple, how dare you? Um, there's a merit, dude, where like it's kind of hard to play Burple as well. Like it's not as in playing the deck, it's hard to sit in the room when everyone knows the lines against you and know what they have to do and know that I prepare for you because I have to. So, I mean, at what point is like, that there's some merit to that, but there really isn't because it's like you can't do you have to have guts to play Blurple?
yeah, you have
At
to be
some
the
extent,
you
right?
have to be the best Blurple
Some
player
extent.
in the you have to be the best Blurple player in the room, right? Like you got to be able to beat the mirrors. You got to be able to beat the
Yes.
other people that are testing against you consistently. Like it's the most obvious choice, right? I wouldn't call it the cowards deck, but because I also don't think it's broken enough where it's tier 0. Like I really don't think that. Like I do think the deck's really good, but I don't think it's tier 0. Yeah.
I started to think it's more fair than Purple Steel. Crazy enough. It's just so consistent. It's just
Yeah.
so consistent. That's what it
Yeah.
is. Like Blurple's the deck that you can mulligan 7 and be okay every time. Like it's the one deck that does that.
Yeah. So, what do you think about the rest of our list?
Okay. Amber Steel, I feel like Blue Yellow takes its place there. I do believe that Blue Steel and Amber Steel are right there with each other. Purple Yellow, I think it's still the best of the B tier because it has really good solid matchups into everything. But can we please, I'll let you even touch this. Can you please, for the love of the community, fix Purple Green? We apologize, guys.
uh,
We That's the
I
one that kind of went out of our mind. We're like, wait, we did mess that
yeah,
one up.
we did say we are gonna fix it later after I told you I said I don't like putting it in B, but I will see where everything else lands, and we just didn't talk about it. I think it's a tier deck in my opinion.
I
Um,
think it beats Blue Steel, no? Do you think it's less? I think so.
I
I
don't know,
think
dude.
it's
I'm
better,
seeing
bro.
some crazy blue steel numbers. Like even to
No,
this
Blue
day
Steel's
right
good.
now. Yeah, even to this day right now, I'm seeing some crazy blue steel numbers, and I'm actually seeing purple green fall out a little bit out of favor from what I'm seeing, it being played. And the reason for that is because Snow Fort is what's making it really strong, and with dogs just winning, there's going to be more item removal from what I'm assuming, and it's going to hit that deck hard, right? Like getting rid of that Snow Fort, it's going to be almost as troublesome as getting rid of a Chromacon, right? Like how good can that deck function without Snow Fort?
Hmm,
And
that's
that's
true.
the real question, right? So I will leave it just for
Definitely tied right there.
yeah.
I'll definitely say yeah. Blue
Um, the other one I would like to move is blue green, dude. I
Green
mean,
has to go up. Yeah.
it's kind of a lot of. I would probably
Mm.
put this down
I
here,
think
bro.
Amber Steel gets knocked down, bro. Yep.
Yeah,
I think that's what happens.
and
We
I
got brought
personally
down.
would
There was a
put
little
this.
hype there, and they cannot compete. We
Yeah,
saw over the numbers they cannot compete. I agree in putting it above Blue Steel. I think
yeah,
it's gonna see its a rise. And you know what? It's not even that it's this now. This might even be like I'm putting this guys because in 2 weeks that's where it's gonna be. So it doesn't matter.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we said it back then, right? And the reason was that we put it lower was because there was a lot of
We
amber
called it.
steel aggro going around and dogs going around. But we said it as soon as the meta decides to not play as much aggro, it's gonna be coming back. And the thing that's hurting it now is how fast purple steel is going, right? Like one of its best matchups that was very prominent last set, it's kind of becoming a like almost borderline a bad matchup because UTS doesn't hit it. And they might be going too fast for the Prince Philip, and then they have so much refill that it just becomes a problem, right? But I think blue green, from what we saw, the one that top, which is Edmund Chu, he didn't really innovate much. He, from what I saw, it was just Ink Geyser. So this deck's still not really being worked on. I think there are cards that um can help it a little bit, and we're just not putting time into it. But the deck is scary. Like, how can we go from saying this deck was best deck last set to now it's trash, right? Like it's just doesn't really math. But yeah, the only other one,
Do you think purple red is better than Amber Steel at the moment? I think so. I
you think so?
think so. I
But
think
then,
this is my issue.
these are fine.
Amber Steel did not do anything, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, we could
No,
be
I
like,
think I
so
think
they
it
didn't
did
do
win.
the
I think
amethyst.
I think it did win a tournament somewhere. Forgot what it
Did it?
was.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my issue with Amber Steel is that I know so many tried, and
Yeah.
it just for the conversion rate, it probably has the worst.
Yeah.
Purple red, it's only rising.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, there was a few that topped
The
up
Amber
the
Steel,
steel,
I
right?
think people cooked and people figured it out, and they're like, "Wait, it's still not that good."
Yeah. So
Purple Steel, Purple Red, watch out! They are not fully figured it out 100%. So when
yeah.
they do, you guys know they're going up. So
Yeah. I also think I like the version of green purple with the levers. I really do. With pull the lever and wrong lever. They're still playing the no snow forts, but
green,
they're also
purple,
playing.
yeah,
Yeah, I think playing those
removal.
cards are really good. Yeah. But let's talk about my baby blue red. I still am a big believer on the deck. It just can this what we were talking about earlier. I asked myself the question, can it beat Blurple? And I could not get it to even go 50-50 to it. I would have been fine playing it, even if it was like 45-55, and I just gotta, you know, outplay the Blurple pairs. It's just I couldn't even get it to that point, and that's what is making the deck bad. Like, let's say Blurple were to disappear, like I would shoot blue red up to like A tier, like because I don't think it struggles that much into any other deck. But Blurple
Yeah,
just
dude.
holds it down bad, man. It's pretty bad. So I will leave it in B tier. Like I think you could take this deck and top at when set champs comes around. You could top at a set champs. You could probably even top like at a big tournament. I think I saw like one or two top at some big tournaments, top eight. But you got to get really lucky with your run to win the whole thing with the blue red. I will say because you got to dodge one of the most represented decks in the room. So yeah,
And my issue still it being having purple, right? Because I can say the thing about blue steel right now. Man, like I look at the matchup spread. If Blurple wasn't a deck, oh my god, blue steel would be
yeah,
also great. So you have the blue with the ruby, I have the blue with the steel.
yeah,
But because this is purple with the with the blue, it's canceling those decks out. So
yeah,
like blue steel still topping here and there because it'll like either like it, I mean it still can go like syndicate or whatever. Blue red, you can still have your lines. Like we can take games away, guys. Like we're good players to where we can take Blurple to game threes.
yeah,
Thing is like we're not like me. I fixed my matchup for dogs and I'm not getting to it in blue yellow. But okay, I'm losing close game threes.
yeah,
So I still went X2 whatever at the tournament, right? And I got out. So it's like, are we trying to go into game three sweaties against Blurple every time and like dodge bullets? Like, no. So
yeah. I will say this though, because a lot of people are, and hey, for me, go for it. Get off the deck because I do not want to play blue yellow mirrors. I played two of them at top choice, and they are abysmal. I
I
one
love mirrors.
two
I'm not gonna
two
lie to you,
two
dude.
tips. I don't mind it. It's just two tips. Anyone that's gonna play blue yellow, please practice your lines and speed up gameplay because it's not worth going into time with these decks. And I'm not throwing any shade at anyone. It's just in general, like if you're gonna take a deck like this, expect the mirror at least to face one. And if you go into time, especially round one, round two, that's basically a loss. Like you're basically taking a loss. Like it's not worth it. So speed up your gameplay. Like you got to be able to make these decisions quick, and you got to basically not account for your opponent to play quick. So you have to play like double their speed in a sense. And I'm not saying to misplay, but I'm just saying get that familiar with your deck that it's kind of like it's just fluid, right? Like you flow most of the decisions, take 30 seconds to a minute, and only those like super long, like very stressful scenarios where it's like about to be like a win or lose situation. That's where you could take your 2-3 minutes to think about the play. But if you're playing control decks, like it's not worth to take an ID because you're not familiar with your lines. And the second thing I was gonna say is blue yellow guys, the statistics, the stats on it. They're bad. They're terrible. They're not that good. But I keep saying this to everyone. The deck is brand new deck. I mean, there is the detectives John. I can't pronounce his last name.
I can't wait for our video. It's gonna be so
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
Well,
made
we're
it.
gonna fully detail it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they that was kind of round, but this is brand new full control deck. People are still figuring it out, dude. You're seeing lists out there. Zan's still playing the 8 drop gold collector Donald Duck with Lilos. You know, some people are testing Mufasas. Some people are playing 3 cauldrons. Some people are playing no spookies. Some people are playing 4 storms. Some people are playing still Max Ohanas. Some people are playing Scuttles and Nakomas and a bunch of other stuff. You know, like a bunch of decks are going around with, or a bunch of different ideas are going around for this color combination. There's not a solidified um, deck list yet, so the win rates are gonna be all over the place. I 100% do think it's gonna stay a 1.5 tier deck,
Well,
and I think the deck's gonna keep performing at least fine. You know, so if you like the color combination, put in the time, learn your lines, put in the reps, and I think it'll be a good list. I mean, unfortunately, it's the same thing as the blue green matchup last set. You're gonna have to dodge dogs. You can put in the spookies to give yourself a chance, or you could do what Fungus and Sky did last set and say, I'm gonna just dodge it and hope to beat it if I do see it. But I'm gonna make sure that every other matchup I'm beating, and that's what they did, right? That's why they played no UTS. They said every other matchup I'm gonna make sure I beat. I'm not gonna decrease my already bad matchup to increase it by like a 5%, 10% win rate. I'm just gonna take that loss, and it is what it is. I'm gonna hope to dodge it, right? So that's just the decision you have to make. I played spookies because if I did see it, I wanted some merit into it, but I don't think it's a bad call to just be like, I'm gonna just take the loss. But every other deck I see, I'm gonna beat.
yeah, and I was like, for example, I was on Nick and the Daisies, and I felt like my dogs matchup was 50-50. Like I took them to game three, dude, and these were their play lines: Daisy, Willow, Daisy. I was in those games. I was in those games, dude. Like it was crazy. Like Blue Yellow does that. You probably lost. Like it's crazy. So I think like there's definitely like I lost. I mean, I beat them in game three, but I lost one game. I played online. They were playing Blue Yellow support, a bunch of little ones with the Rapunzel support, with everything, a bunch of Nick Balls, everything little, and then the Jimmy Cricket. You could just ramp your from your characters that are dead or whatever, and you play the Luke. So you're just ramping through your characters dying, little ones, and like it was like turn five and he was already at like Lord because I couldn't swing at anything because Rapunzel, everything has support. Nothing gets swinged at him, and he just put like GG. I was like, all right. So like it's crazy. Like there's so much to experiment in blue yellow. Like I still don't think there's a world where the detective package is still great, right? So like there's still that. The genie, the 4/7 to question for two, the Judy with the resist and the blurple format that gives alerts. Like there's still a lot to do, still a lot to figure out. And yeah, hopefully the video that we do us to gives people a little light on that.
Yeah, I think the video is definitely a good idea because I don't think the Donald's a bad card. I'm not playing it right now. I don't know if I will play it, but I do
I
see
tried
the
it.
I do see the synergy with the Donald Duck playing Lilos. Like if you want to go that route, I don't think it's that bad. Um, I do like the Scuttles a lot. I like the 5 drop Scuttle a lot in blue yellow. I think it makes your Ohana insane. I'm a big fan of the
We'll talk about
Nakomas.
probably the
Yeah.
video because we could
So
go on and on.
yeah,
I have so much. Every
yeah.
time you
So
talk about it, I want to comment on it and keep
yeah,
going. So
yeah.
yeah, we'll
So
definitely see it for that.
I think the video would be a good idea, but I think this is pretty much all we got. I think this is where we're gonna leave the tier list. So if you guys have a tournament coming up, what's coming up this weekend? Oh, Ink Ink. If you guys got a tournament coming up, 100%. If you want our opinion, play one of the three S tier decks: Blurple, Dogs, and Purple Steel. But the main advice we have, and it's always the best advice, is play what you are comfortable on. Don't be like Dogs won. I've been playing Purple Steel for 2 weeks. Dogs won. I'm gonna switch to Dogs because I promise you that's not gonna work out. Yeah. So just
At
stick
the
to the
end of the
Purple Steel.
day, if you're gonna change decks from something you're comfortable with, is because you're making a huge upgrade. So if I'm more comfortable as a purple red player and I'm jumping to purple steel, look at the tier list. That's validated, right? If I am playing Blurple and I see Dogsman, I'm gonna play Dogs now. What am I doing, right? Also, if you're gonna play one of the tiers right below it, 3, 4, 5, when you build it, I would say this: if you're going to a tournament, of the three top decks, beat 2 out of 3. Beat 2 out of 3 decks. If you can comfortably beat 2 out of the 3 decks there, I would say it's a nice, solid choice. And you know what? If you're like me and play blue yellow and face two dogs right away, then it is what it is, right? But like you see, if you don't and you're like Caesar, then you go all the way to second place. Like it's stuff like that that happens that sometimes you just got to make the call. But play one of the diamond decks or beat two out of the three of the diamond decks. That is my advice. If you take anything from this tier list or anything we talked about, play a diamond deck or beat two out of three of them. That's what my advice would be. I think that's a pretty much good wrap up on that.
Yeah, it's a good wrap up. But yeah, that's all we got. You can take us out of here, Hector.
Yeah. Again, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you guys for being 1 week patient while Caesar fixes his computer. We hopefully give you guys a little bit more videos, and we are glad that you guys quested here in this Golden Quest podcast. We can't wait for the next quest that we got for you guys. And hey, if your local area, TCG Saturdays locals, if there's no big tournaments going around and you're a Saturday and that's usually the day you play, go to Redlands, Top Choice Gaming. We want to make sure that we play locals there. And guess what? If we don't play locals and you just happen to be there and the teammates are there testing, you're more than welcome to join us, guys. So, with that being said, thank you, Caesar, for being a great co-host, and I will catch you guys on to the next one. I was about to say keep on questing, keep on cooking, dude. I'm so used to it.
Yeah, that's
All
all I
righty,
got,
guys.
guys.
Until the next one, our Golden Conquistadors. Laters.
Peace.